Morning Bumblebees and welcome to today's maths lesson. So we're going to start today by recognising the place value of each digit in a two-digit number. So we've been working really hard all week on place value and looking at the value of each digit. So today, if you can, get out your dice or use an interactive dice roller. We're going to roll two dice to create a two-digit number, and then you're going to look at the value of each digit in that two-digit number and say how many tens and how many ones are in each number. It's really important that we understand this at this point in our maths to be able to move on later today. So I've rolled my dice here and you can see that I have got number 4 and the number 6. So I'm going to put those together to make the number 46, of which I'm then going to notice that I have got 4 tens in my number. So I've got 4 tens and 6 ones. So I've got ones here, and then I'm going to represent my number using what it means. So I've got 40 and 6, so I've partitioned my number here. And then finally, the last step that I'd like you to do is I'd like you to represent it as a jotting. So 10, 20, 30, 40 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once you've done that with one number, go collect your dice, roll it again and make another number. So here I've got the number 11, so I can do exactly the same. I can write the number 11, I can say how many tens and how many ones, I can write my tens and my ones, and then I can represent it with jottings, okay? So your job will be to fill in all of the bits in the middle. Then roll the dice again, have a go and see if you can do this for 5 different numbers and send through your work to me to show me your understanding today of that place value. The second part of the lesson today, we're going to be adding numbers using a whole range of different methods. So you can see here, I've got some calculations on the board, which I need to find the answers to. Now, each of these calculations will require me to use a different method. And each time we might use a different method for each calculation. It's working out what's the most efficient way of answering that question to arrive at the right answer. So I can see here, the first one that I've got, I'm just going to return the other ones down. I've got the number 12, add 5. Now I know that I can calculate this mentally if I put the largest number, which is 12, in my head and count on 5. So I'm going to put 12 in my head and I'm going to add 5. So we're going to put 12 and then count on 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I know the answer to that calculation is 17. And for this method, I have used a mental strategy. Okay, now the next number that I'm going to look at is 12 add 11. I'm going to move it over here. Okay, so 12 add 11. Now I know that 11 and 12 are very, very close to each other when we are counting because we say the number 11 and then we say the number 12. So I know that they are very close. Now I could use my knowledge of doubles to help me with this question because I could double 11 or I could double 12 and then take away or add 1. So if I'm going to double my number 12, so for this calculation, I'm going to do 12 add 12, for example, I would then just need to remember to remove the extra one I've added on. So because they are very close to each other and they are near doubles, we could do 12 add 12. Now we know what 12 add 12 is, or double 12. We know it's 24. So I now need to just adjust my answer to remove that 1 to show that 12 add 11 is 23. Okay, so well done if you've managed to add that. We could also, for this calculation, draw our jottings. So we could do 1 10 and 2 ones and 1 10 and 1 1 and add them together. And again, it would show me the answer 23. Okay, now there's another method we could use, and that is that we could bring in the bar model and put this number into a bar model. Now 11 and 12 are very, very close to each other, as I've said, so our bar won't be that far away from the middle. So we're trying to find the total, and we've got one number that is 12 and one number that is 11. So I need to combine these two amounts to find my total up here. So you can always use a bar to help you to do that and find this number, which we now know is 23 because we've calculated that answer. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is 15 add 7. Now I'm going to move 15 add 7 just up here a little bit because actually we could use the same method as we did for 12 add 5. And that is we could do it as a mental calculation. So for a mental calculation, I would put 15 in my head and I would count on 7. So let's do that together. So let's put 15 in our head and count on 7. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So well done if you managed to arrive at the answer 22. Okay, and do it mentally. All right, so all these different strategies we can use in our lesson today. All right. So the final calculation we're going to work out together this morning is 21 add 14. Okay, now again, we can use any one of these calculations. It's not a near double because 21 and 14 are not near each other. So we're not going to use a near double. We could use our jottings and we could use our bar model. Okay. So I'm just going to move the bar model over for this calculation so that we can use lots of space. So if you've not got enough space in your book, just make sure that you're using a space in your book that you can actually use and write with. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw my jottings. So I've got 2 10s and I've got 1 1 and I've got 1 10 and I've got 4 1s. Okay, so I can put all of this information into a bar model. So again, I'm going to draw my bar across the page like this, and I'm going to go down. And remember, our bar still needs 2 layers because the top layer is the answer that we're trying to find. We don't know what that is at the moment. One of these is going to be 21 and one of them is going to be 14. So I'm going to put the number 21 in the larger side because I know the number 21 is larger than the number 14, which is going to go into the smaller side. And I'm also going to bring across my jottings that will help me as well. So I'm going to put my jottings underneath as well because that will help me to work out my total. So I'm now going to work out 2 1s add 1 1, which is 3 1s are 30. So we've got 10, 20, 30. And then I'm going to add my 1s. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I add those together, I know that I have got 35. So my answer that would go in the top of my bar is 35. And the answer to my calculation is also 35. So if you head back to the school website now, you will see lots of calculations for you to answer and then some problem solving as well. So have a go at answering all of those questions. Send them through to me and show me your working out. So if you've got jottings or bar models on your page that you've been using today to work this out, that is absolutely fine. I would love to see the methods you've used for each of these calculations. So have fun, send it through to me, work really hard, and I will catch up with you tomorrow.